Hey guys, it's Libby and I am so excited for the summer Cramathon. The first Cramathon was last year around Christmas time, and I didn't do it because I was already participating in the Booktubeathon and they were sort of overlapping, and I didn't want to throw too many commitments at myself, especially during Christmas time and my birthday, and I was just like, I can't do two readathons at the same time. But this made me really sad because it looked super fun. And so then I got that that tingling need to do it, so I'm allergic to tomatoes. And sometimes I will order a pizza and I told them no tomato sauce, but they still put tomato sauce on it. And so the pizza arrives and I open up the box and I'm like, I can't eat this pizza. And then I am just craving pizza so much because I have been denied the cheesy, carby goodness. And so the next time I get a pizza, I just inhale it. So that's what this readathon is like for me. I didn't get to do the last one, so I'm like, give me Cramathon. And so I'm probably going to be slightly insane whenever you hear me talk about this readathon, at least until it gets started. So this summer, the Cramathon is running July 10th through July 13th, all 4 of those days. I think that's a Friday to a Monday. And there are a bunch of challenges, but I'm sort of more going with the spirit of the Cramathon than the letter of the Cramathon law. And the spirit is take all of the small books off your shelf and read them real fast. So I think I am going to be able to complete most of the challenges, but that's not really what I'm focusing on. So on to my TBR. I have 9 books on my TBR, but you only need to read like 5 for the actual Cramathon, so I've got options. And I've divided them into books that it will take me less than 2 hours to read and books that will take me more than 2 hours to read. So my plan is to start off the day with a less than 2 hour book and then spend the rest of the day reading the longer book, and then I may have to continue that into the next day if I don't finish it. So starting off with my under 2 hour books. First one is that. Volume 2 of The Princess Tales by Gail Carson Levine. I read Volume 1 for the Dewey's 24-hour readathon a couple of months ago. This one includes Cinderella's and the Glass Hill, For Biddle's Sake, and The Fairy's Return. I didn't get to it because the golem and the genie sapped so much of my life, but it was good. It can have all of my life. So I do want to finish off this series. I've already read most of these. I definitely haven't read Cinderella's and the Glass Hill, and I might have read The Fairy's Return, but I can't remember. So we will find out. And even if I did, it would have been back in middle school, because these are children's books. Next in my pile is Pictures for Sad Children by John Campbell, who decided not to put his name on the cover, I guess. This is a publication of a web series, and I believe it's ironically depressing. This is not actually technically my book. This is David, my spouse's book, but I'm going to steal it. Then we have the Histoire de la Marquise de Banneville. Let's see if I can remember all of the authors this time. Charles Perrault, Marie-Jeanne Laritier, and François Timoleon de Choisy. I'm so cool. This is in French, so I should get bonus points for reading it. It is really short. It's a fairy tale. It's about 60 pages. And this is on my list of all-time favorite books, and it was my top book of 2014, so I really want to reread it and enjoy all of the feels again. And then I have 2 small non-fiction books, The Devil's Dictionary by Ambrose Bierce and The Queen's English by C.J. Moore. These are both sort of dictionaries which are meant to be funny and ironic, so Here's a page from The Devil's Dictionary. He defines genealogy as an account of one's descent from an ancestor who did not particularly care to trace his own. And The Queen's English is just a collection of British phrases that Americans normally don't understand, so I'm going to enlighten myself as to that, and then hopefully understand all of the British people whose channels I watch. And so now onto the books that will take me more than 2 hours to read. I expect the first one's actually 2 books, but I'm sort of counting them as one. They are Boxers and Saints. Oops. Boxers and Saints by Jean Luen Yang. This is a graphic novel about two graphic novels about the Boxer Revolution in China, Boxer Rebellion. I am so good at words today, you guys. And you follow a Chinese boy and a Chinese girl who converts to Christianity, and that's sort of what the Boxer Rebellion was about. I don't know that much about it though, so I'm ready to get educated about early 20th century Chinese history. Then I have Song of the Sparrow by Lisa Ann Sandel. This is a book in verse, and that was one of the challenges. Sorry, Whitney, that this is not by Lisa Schroeder or Ellen Hopkins. I know you want us all to read them. But I already own this one, and this is a retelling of the Lady of Shalott story. So it's Arthurian and tragic love. Maybe it won't be tragic this time? I don't know. Arthurian rewriters tend to take significant liberties, and I'm cool with that. Then I have Liesl and Po by Lauren Oliver. This is a children's story, and it's got fun pictures. That's not a very fun picture, but there are other ones. Oh, let me show you inside the dust jacket. It's very cool. So this is a middle grade novel about, I'm not really sure, but I believe there is a girl with a wicked stepmother and a ghost and an alchemist's apprentice, and adventures ensue. Is there a dog? There's a dog. And then finally, just to make this a classic Cramathon, I have the Heroides by Ovid. This is in English. I am not reading them in Latin. No, I have not actually ever read them in Latin, just in English. So these are a collection of fictional letters from, mainly from women of classical mythology to their romantic interests, and in the last couple, the men get to write back. And so you've got like Penelope to Ulysses, and Dido to Aeneas, and who else? Sappho to Phaon, that's the only not 100% fictional one. Briseis to Achilles, that's another one. And this looks really long, but actually, like, only this part is the actual text. And there's a lot of notes. So like here's Leander to Hero. That's all introduction that I'm not going to read because I'm a classics major and I'm a genius and I already know everything about this. And then you got like poem, 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 poem. But this one's long. This is a bad example. And then more notes at the end. So I'm actually only going to be reading like half of the pages in this, so I think it'll go pretty fast, and it's in verse, so not that many words per page. So those are the books that I chose, and then I sort of fit them into the challenges, so I will now tell you what the challenges are in case you are curious. So for read a children's book, my options are Princess Tales and Liesl and Po. Options for a hardback are The Devil's Dictionary, The Queen's English, Song of the Sparrow, and Liesl and Po. The next challenge is read 2 books in 24 hours, which I do not anticipate will be a problem. My graphic novel options are Pictures for Sad Children, which I know is not like technically a graphic novel, but it's told in pictures, so it counts. And Boxers and Saints. For a book written in verse, I have the Heroides and Song of the Sparrow. And then for read a novella, I have Histoire de la Marquise de Banneville. I don't know if this like technically counts as a novella. I'm not sure how we're defining novella. Some people define it by like just some sort of esoteric feel. Some people define it by page count, by word count. I have decided that this is a novella. So it counts. So thank you all for watching. There is a link to Whitney's announcement video where she explains anything that I did not sufficiently explain. And I will see you during Cramathon weekend because I plan to vlog a lot.